Today we will dive deep into a personal subject of mine: Freemasonry. Prince Hall Freemasonry. Founder Prince Hall was an influential figure in the late 18th century who, along with 14 other free black men, was denied entry into the local Masonic lodge, foundation of an independent order. As a result, Hall led them to form their own lodge in 1775, laying the groundwork for what would become the Prince Hall Freemasons. Fighting for equality, the historical Prince Hall Freemasons have historically worked to advance black people in America by advocating for education and equality. Our next great black American is Prince Hall. Prince Hall was a community activist, an artisan and property owner in Boston. As a respected leader in the free black community, Hall used his status to champion the rights of his people. His peers looked up to him because he fearlessly fought for the most oppressed. He was one of the most visible leaders of the free black community in all of New England. After the American Revolution, Hall continued his fight for freedom and equality for all people. He worked tirelessly to abolish slavery in Massachusetts. In 1777, he and 7 other black men petitioned the General Court to end slavery in the Commonwealth. They argued that slavery was inconsistent with the Patriot cause, and that the time had come to end this cruel and inhumane practice. Hall was also a strong proponent of education for black children. He tried for years to get the Massachusetts legislature to create public schools for them. When that failed, he opened a school in his own home in 1800. It was one of the first schools for black children in Boston. Throughout his life, Hall was a gifted orator who publicly spoke out against the injustices faced by African Americans. He spoke out against mob violence, which at the time was a common way of dealing with those who were different. In 1790, Hall became involved with the Back to Africa movement. He and his fellow abolitionists believed that true equality would never be achieved in America. So he petitioned the government for financial assistance to help free black Americans emigrate to Africa. Though details of Prince Hall's early life are uncertain, his presence and influence in Boston are well documented. We know that he was a successful leather merchant. He owned property in Boston, which at the time was a requirement to vote. When Hall died in Boston in 1807, he was buried in Cope's Hill Burying Ground. His legacy, however, lived on through the Prince Hall affiliated organizations. Every year on March 6, we celebrate Prince Hall Founders Day. This day commemorates the initiation of Prince Hall and 14 other men of African descent into Freemasonry on that date in 1775. This historic event marked the beginning of Prince Hall Freemasonry, the first fraternal organization in the United States to welcome black men. It laid the foundation for a legacy of community, empowerment, and service for African Americans that continues to this day. On this day, we remember the courage and determination of Prince Hall and his fellow Masons, who dared to dream of a better world and worked tirelessly to make it a reality. We are inspired by their example and recommit ourselves to the pursuit of justice, equality, and brotherhood for all. Did you know that there is a fraternal society in America that was started by an African American and today has over 3 million members? It's called Prince Hall, and it all started with one man's petition to end slavery. See, this man was a respected leader in the free black community, and he used his status to champion the rights of his people. At the time, being a black man in America meant that you were considered property. You could be put into slavery at any age. So Prince Hall got together with some friends and they started a movement to abolish slavery. Together, they wrote up a petition to the Massachusetts legislature demanding the abolition of slavery. In 1777, he and 7 other black men petitioned the General Court to end slavery in the Commonwealth. They pointed out that slavery was inconsistent with the Patriot cause and that it was a violation of the natural rights of man. Although their petition was denied, Prince Hall didn't give up. He continued to fight for the rights of African Americans throughout his life. He was a strong advocate for education, and he fought for equal access to public schools for black children. When that failed, he opened a school in his own home in 1800. In addition to his activism, Prince Hall was also a gifted orator. He traveled around the country, speaking out against the injustices faced by African Americans. He spoke out against mob violence, which was often used as a tool to terrorize black people. As the years went on, Prince Hall became increasingly frustrated with the lack of progress toward racial equality. In the 1830s, he became involved with the Back to Africa movement, and he spent his later years petitioning for financial assistance to help free Black Americans emigrate to Africa. Although details of his early life are uncertain, Prince Hall's presence and influence in Boston are well documented. It is believed that he was one of the 6 black men of Massachusetts named Prince Hall listed in military records of the Revolution, and he may well have fought at Bunker Hill. In 1775, Hall and 14 other free blacks joined a British Army Lodge of Masons, who were stationed in Boston. After the British departed, they formed their own lodge, African Lodge No. 1, though it would be 12 years before they received a permanent charter. Hall became the lodge's first Grand Master on April 24, 1777, in Boston. A bill of sale was issued for 5 drumheads, from Prince Hall to the Boston Regiment, specifically to Colonel Crafts of the Regiment of Artillery. This document certifies that the aforementioned drumheads are now in the possession of the Regiment of Artillery for their use. Hall was active in the affairs of Boston's black community, using his position as worshipful master of the Black Masons to speak out against slavery and the denial of black rights. For years, he protested the lack of schools for black children and finally established one in his own home. In his last published speech, his charge to the African Lodge in June 1797, Hall spoke of mob violence against blacks. "Patience, I say, for were we not possessed of a great measure of it, we could not bear up under the daily insults we meet with in the streets of Boston." Much more on public days of recreation, know that he was a successful artisan and leather merchant who owned property in Boston. As a property owner, he was eligible to vote and he was active in local politics. He died in Boston in 1807 and is buried in Cope's Hill Burying Ground. Every year on March 6, African Americans celebrate Prince Hall Founders Day. On this day in 1775, Prince Hall and 14 other men of African descent were initiated into Freemasonry. This was a fraternal organization that had been closed off to people of color. Because of slavery and segregation in early America, social and fraternal institutions were developed and operated separately. Masonry is no exception, but thanks to the efforts of Prince Hall and his brother Masons, this changed forever. Today, Prince Hall Freemasonry is the largest African American fraternal organization in the world. Some of the most influential African Americans have been members of Prince Hall Freemasonry, including Thurgood Marshall, the first African American Supreme Court Justice, and Medgar Evers, an NAACP activist and civil rights leader. Musicians such as Duke Ellington and Count Basie also found brotherhood in Prince Hall Freemasonry. With over 3 million members, Prince Hall Freemasonry continues to be a powerful force for good in the African American community. If you would like to learn more about Prince Hall and his legacy, visit our website, https://www.princehall-pa.org/. Thank you for watching. If you like, please subscribe and share.